My brother was actually he was the person that was in charge of compliance when it comes to franchises like Michelle's Patisserie,
Yep.
Baker's Delight, and kind of all that jazz. So he has to go around to all the franchises, and this was about 10, 15 years ago. But he had to go around and ensure that they actually complied with the standards of that particular franchise. And he ended up leaving it because he didn't like it at all, because he felt that a lot of the people that were actually buying these franchises were kind of more or less misled a little bit. A lot of them were losing their homes or paying $250,000 plus for this franchise, but they couldn't change certain things. I mean, if they wanted to make their own cupcake and Michelle's Patisserie, they couldn't do that. It had to be exactly the way that it was within the actual books itself. And a lot of people, they ended up buying themselves a job and outlaying so much money, getting loans against their house. And so that was kind of one of the reasons why he left. And I guess if you compare kind of the online world to the franchise world, that's kind of the big attractive thing when it comes to online. People look at the costs, even though it can cost 10, 15, 20, 25,000 to build an online business. Sometimes it costs you a little bit more. But when you actually compare that to an actual franchise, it does become a lot more attractive to get online. And I think that's one of the reasons why Amazon has become so successful in terms of the actual company itself, is because they took advantage of that. You can pay 40, $50 a month, and this is how much traffic we get every single month to our website. You don't have to worry about ads. They sell it like that, but you actually do still need to spend a lot of money in advertising. But in terms of your franchise, or I guess the experience there, did you have a similar experience in terms of when you're looking at franchising? Is there certain I think there were certain things that you need to comply with. Is that right, Dave?
Absolutely. And it was, I mean, at the time, there was really not much e-commerce here in Australia. And so franchising was, I suppose, the buzzword at the time. It's probably where e-commerce is now. And this was actually recommended to me, this one, but I was just amazed at how strict they were on the compliance side of things. And I can understand it because you're trying to protect the brand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about protecting the brand, and they want things done in a uniform type way. So I get that, but there was very little flexibility in moving, and I think it's got worse over time now because there is so much competition in that market. Or there was. I think it's probably dying down a little bit now, and I think a lot of the bigger franchise companies are actually buying the businesses back from people, taking it back just because there is a lot of trouble with it. But you've really got to be very, very careful if you go into that side of things, where this is the beauty of e-commerce, because we've got that little bit more flexibility. It's a little bit more opened up, and it's a little bit more sellable, I think, than a franchise. It's very hard to sell a franchise if you own one, unless it's doing some amazing things where you don't have to look too far to see that there's a lot of e-commerce businesses for sale. It's quite a fluid market in a lot of ways. It's very easy to sell. You just do a little bit of a transfer. Transfer your Amazon account over, maybe the brand name, trademarks, anything like that, and you walk away, and you can walk away with some good money.
That was a video from my regular Monday night Q&A session with the members of the Aussie Online Entrepreneurs. We are a community of 2,500 members and growing. We're the fastest growing community of professional e-commerce sellers right here in Australia, with sales, by the way, of over $50 million. $50 million, holy crap. If you'd like to find out more about what we do and how we can help you build your own e-commerce business too, get off to www.aussieonlineentrepreneurs.com.au. The link for that is in the description. And thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.